What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking all about Terra Luna Classic in this one. Volume on chain is up. Duck One is back, and more with this story. Also, USTC going crazy. We're going to be taking a look at everything going on. And for the first time, our circulating supply shows the 5s. If that's something you are into, then do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, leave a like on this video. Drop a comment down below. What do you think the Terra Luna Classic price will be by the end of this year? And with that being said, let's dive straight into this video. So here we go. Currently, the market's starting to move a little bit in the right direction. Finally, it does feel like it's been a really challenging week. 0.5% up on Bitcoin at 16.6. As we move down the list, you can see a couple of them really starting to move. XRP is another one, up nearly 4%. Litecoin having a good week, as well as a few other lesser known coins. As we move further down the list, we can see Terra Luna Classic currently sitting the 39th highest ranked cryptocurrency, 1732 being the price. Now, here we go. Look, circulating supply is 5998. So we are in the 5 trillion range, albeit just, but it is nevertheless a good achievement from where we started out, and probably shows the art of the possible, both with a staking and burning mechanisms that we have. You can see the total max supply at 6.8 trillion. So it's a decent chunk that we have removed from the circulating supply. Volume is disappointing over 100 million. Now, we know the global market is very, very tight at the minute, but down 35%, and $1.037 billion is the current market cap. If we look at a few more technicals, we kind of see this downward trend as we see with the whole market in its entirety. 17, like I said, 17.2 the price, down 3.5%. A couple of them are worse, albeit Luna Classic probably not having the lion's share there, but we'll see kind of where we level out. There is some interesting things coming up, and certainly some things that are up and running when it comes to Terra Luna Classic, but we'll see where we kind of test. A couple of these supports at 17.2 is a real strong level of support for us. I'd like to see us bounce back into the kind of 17.5 range and continue. Before we get into the weekend, we know weekends tend to be quite difficult, both for the whole market, in particular for Luna Classic. So what have we got really coming to support us? Well, both we are seeing increase on chain in terms of volume going through that, which is always good to see. You can see here 1.34 trillion is the transaction volume across the last 30 days, with 41.59 billion. Now, this is up, and this is a positive thing. We need to remember this. We were trending so in the teens in terms of volume. We are now having some really strong days where we're knocking in over 100 billion. Like I said, 41.59. Community pool continues to build, allowing us the expansion of Terra Luna Classic, as does the staking ratio. And again, if you're not staking your Terra Luna Classic, it's definitely worthwhile. The two big ones you get, Luna Classic and USTC. And then we're about to talk about USTC in just a second, but it's definitely worth it, as it is just passive income that you are getting from both staking your rewards, staking your tokens, and you are doing two things. You are supporting Terra Luna Classic by stabilizing that price point, and equally you are benefiting from just holding your tokens. Now, remember, again, it is not an exchange. This is a wallet built on a protocol generated blockchain, so therefore it isn't really accessible as you would say something like FTX that we saw obviously with that giant collapse. Now, USTC is an interesting one. So if we go into USTC, just 1% up. So this big spike here early on in today. We have settled back down around the 221 range, but definitely some potential, some big money coming into USTC, and it was all really down to this news from Duck One. So the third-party audit of LFG and TFL's PEG defense activity during May 2022 has been published. This is a full audit going into exactly what happened. Now, here's the really interesting part. Duck One continues on this thread to talk about everything around USTC, but equally what he wants to do. I, as the creator, should have understood and communicated the risk better. I believe that the most important use case of crypto is to become decentralized money that transcends politics and nation states. I still believe this today with the DeFi and centralized money, and I hope others succeed in the mission where we have failed. USTC was my life's work. This, combined with seeing it gain more Lindy effects and holders every day, and eventually become one of the largest cryptos by market cap, blinded me to its potential risks and focused me on what seemed to like the inevitable rise. And again, he continues to kind of go on and talk around kind of loads of donations that had gone in, and ultimately the kind of big downfall this summer of cryptocurrency, certainly coming out of that bull market. But what I think is really interesting here is he is more and more becoming active, both backing the Terra Luna community and the crypto as a whole. Now, there is a big kind of conspiracy right now that TFL and the Duck One issue was taken down by FTX. Again, we can't confirm that 100%, but you can see USTC trending here on the right hand side, always a positive thing. But it says here, look at the final statement from Duck One. It says, for those of you whose minds I have not been able to change, I accept your judgment. I continue to think about learnings in number 12, i.e. here. and apply it to the systems I work on. Hopefully we can find ways to understand each other at some point, which for me is a really balance point. But again, is Duck One coming back into Terra Luna Classic the right thing? I don't know if it is. I think we've moved past that. I think, you know, maybe he has a place in crypto. I think everything needs to be sorted out first and foremost before we really get into that. But other news for Terra Luna Classic, IBC has been enabled, so that's a positive thing. We've got it a month early, and that will open up a lot more potential for Terra Luna Classic for people to start coming in. So I would expect, again, chain volume to start increasing, as again we would start to see wallets coming in as people come on board. We also know we have some great projects launching. If I just go over to the Lunacy Penguins, which I'm sure you all know by now, one of Happy Catty Crypto's websites, so you can see here a number of things that we've got on this list, and we also have their NFT drop that has just come on. We check out the burners again, and you can see the burn wallets coming through. Number of burns going through there. Again, not the most we would like to see. A couple of things coming through there, but again, really positive in the sense that we are seeing more and more chains going through. If we look at on-chain statistics, which I think is always worthwhile, just seeing exactly what people have got, you can see we are increasing our number of wallets. Again, a lot of wallets sat in this under 100,000 mark, but interestingly, we've got some big whales in this, in the Terra Luna Classic. The 10 million to kind of above 10 million, really sitting kind of solidly as people believe long-term in this project, taking those staking rewards both for USTC and Luna Classic. But it feels like we've got some real momentum. Yes, the price currently is not in our favor, but let's see what the rest of the week brings. It certainly is an exciting one for me as we grow with Terra Luna Classic and we see more and more projects come on board. So pretty exciting coming. IBC re-enabled. Duck One, is he going to get back in or not? I'm not sure it's the best thing in the world, but definitely going to be an interesting week with Terra Luna Classic. But let me know down in the comments where do you think the price will be by the end of the year. I'm intrigued to see what you say. That's going to do it for this video. As ever, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.